Okay, hi everyone, welcome to today's webinar. I am Tabitha from TaroWorks and thanks for joining today. And today's session is on attendance and this will be presented by Margaret Wanjiru from TaroWorks product team. She'll be showcasing how to use TaroWorks for taking meetings and or recording an individual's presence at a session even when offline. Before we get started, I'll go over some few housekeeping rules. Everyone is muted by default, but if you have a question at any one point, please type it in the chat. Or if you would prefer to ask your question, feel free to raise your hand and I will unmute you. Also, feel free to introduce yourself to the community when you're asking your question. This is going to be a 15-minute session and this will be followed by a Q&A session. Also, the webinar is being recorded and it will be shared on our website or on our YouTube channel. So without further ado, take it away, Maggie.
Thanks, Tabitha. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. So we'll be looking at exploring the powerful function on how to use TaroWorks to take meeting or session attendances even when offline. So this function can be valuable for graduation programs, internal trainings, or even capacity building. So today I'll be showcasing a series of features that you can use to record individual present at a session or a meeting. And hopefully by the end of this presentation, you're going to feel comfortable, and with some practice and our resources, you can set up these features easily and even use them to increase your data accuracy and efficiency within your organizations. On our agenda today, we'll go through an attendance demo, and then we're going to open up the webinar to you for questions. So let's look at the purpose or the background of this presentation. So the goal of capturing attendance records is to keep track of what training a client has received, even when the field staff are offline. So in this session, we shall be looking at the operations of our fictional organization, Aquacom. And Aquacom builds wells in communities. They sell water filters and then monitor the health of the community members that are using their wells. They also give trainings to the well site members about how to maintain the wells, and also they give them information about different waterborne diseases. So in order to take training attendances for our organization Aquacom, we're going to leverage on a series of features, and these features will help us to expose more data to the field staff in order to increase the quality of the data that is collected by using these values to pre-populate the surveys. So our first feature that we're going to use is what we call the drill down hierarchy filters. So this is a feature that allows admins to target the data that should be used for a particular job. And this means that only relevant data or records will be displayed to the field staff for the jobs. The second feature is about allowing the field staff or the mobile users to select many records or multiple records in the last level of the drill down hierarchy. And this feature will help the field staff to select more than one record from a single drill down hierarchy list, and then these records will be used to pre-fill a repeat section. So this is going to save them time instead of typing in the records. The third feature is the ability to view images in the drill down hierarchy for identification or even verification. Last but not least, we'll be looking at a view resource feature. So this is a feature that empowers the field staff with information in a variety of formats without being online. So the formats can be video, audio, images, or even various forms of documents. Okay. So let's look at the configuration for the job on Salesforce. But before that, we're going to look at the data model for our organization Aquacom. So these are the objects that we're going to interact with today, and we have two levels of these objects. So on the left, we have the well site object, and the well site object is looked at by the well site member. Then the well site member is a child of the training. The well site member is a parent of the training attendance object. And on the right, from the top level of the highest object here is the module object, which is a parent of the lesson object, and the lesson object is a parent of the training session object. And then the training session object is a parent of the training attendance object. Okay, so now I will navigate to Salesforce, where we can look at the job. Let's start with the form. So this is the structure of our form. We have two sections on the form. The first section is a regular section with 3 questions, and here we will be getting information about the training session. The first question is about the lesson that will be used in the training, and then we shall take a record of the training date, and also if there are any notable notes or feedback from the session, it can be recorded on this question number 3. Then the second section we have is a repeat section. In this section, we shall be taking the attendance record details. So for this, you have a question on the member ID, a question on the well site member name, and then also the attendance. So we're going to record whether or not a well site member has recorded the training or not. Then let's have a quick look at the field mapping. We shall look at the objects that I have just presented on the deck. So on the field mapping, we're going to work with 4 objects. The first one being the lesson, and we're going to pass in the lesson name to the question number 1. And then for the second object, we're going to create a new training session for each training that we carry out using this, our job. So we're going to pass in the date of the training, the session notes from this survey, from the form that we're going to collect data with. And then the third object is a well site member. So we're not going to create any new well site member, but we're going to use some data from the well site object. So we're going to pass in the member ID. And then we now have the training attendance object. We're going to create a new training attendance record for each of the well site members that attend a training. So for this, we are going to take the value that is from the form, whether the value which will be a yes or no on whether the well site member has attended the training or not. So that's the structure of our form. Then let's look at how we're going to use that form. So we have a job here that we are calling the well site education job, and we've given it a name number 8 so that it can be ordered accordingly on the list of jobs mobile users are going to see on their TaroWorks mobile app. And on the job, we're making use of the multiple drill down hierarchies. So the first drill down hierarchy will be to select a lesson. So you can give the name of a drill down hierarchy so that you can give the mobile users context. And the drill down hierarchy will always start with the highest level of the object. So in our case, we start off with the module object and then the lesson object. On the detail fields, we have selected a few fields that we would want to be displayed when a mobile user selects an individual record from either of the objects. Okay, and then we have the second drill down hierarchy. This one is will be a drill down in order to select a well site member. The highest object here is the region. So the mobile user will first go through the region, select a region, and then select a well site, then select a well site member. So in the previous slide, we talked about the feature to allow a mobile user to select multiple records in the drill down hierarchy in the last level. So in our case, it will be the well site. So we shall tick this box here to allow our mobile users to select more than one well site member, and then those records are going to be passed into our repeat section. So these will increase efficiency because the field officer or the field staff will not have to type in each and every name of the well site members who will be attending the training. Okay, and then the other feature we talked about is the ability to filter the records on the drill down hierarchy so that only relevant records will be visible by the mobile user. So you can click on this edit button here and then add the filters that are relevant for the job. So in our case here, we have the first filter. We want to only go to well sites that all display well sites that have the soil type of clay, and also whose status is the pump installation stage. Yeah, and that will be on the well site object, and then on the well site member name. So the list of records we want to give our training today to only members who have attended more than one training in the past, and also we want to also talk to those that we visited this week, someday this week, as a follow-up. So maybe this training is a follow-up for the visit. So you can just save that. There we go. And then let's look at the task. So sorry, let me go back to this. So one of the other features we talked about is the ability to view images on the drill down hierarchy. We have added this field here, which is a photo field. So we said that these detail fields are the fields that will be displayed on a record when a field officer selects it on the mobile side. So this field will allow us to see the photo of our well site member so that we can identify them for the training. Then let's go to the task. We're going to be carrying out 2 tasks in our training attendance job. So the first task is a collect data task, which we have given the title of training attendance, and we will use the training attendance job. Let's look at the task mapping. So on the first level of the drill down hierarchy, we'll work with the lesson object. So we'll pass in the lesson name to question number 1 so that the mobile user does not have to type in the lesson that they select from the drill down hierarchy. We're also going to pass in these 2 fields on the well site member object. We'll pass in the well site member name that will be mapped to question 5. Then we'll also pass in the well site member ID that will be passed on to question 6, although it will be hidden. So that's the collect data task. And then the second task we have is the view resource task. So this is the feature we talked about where we can empower field officers to have information in various formats, even when they are offline. For our training today, we want our field staff to show a hand washing tutorial, and we are going to have a video. They're going to play a video. So if you add files, resources to the TaroWorks library, then they will show up here, and you can select the file that you want to use for the view resource task. You can also add instructions that can be read out before the resource is displayed. Okay. So from this, I'm going to switch on to BlueStacks. So I'll now play the role of an Aquacomb field staff who will be offering training to the Aquacomb well site members. So I'm now at our field office, and because this is where I have connectivity, I'm going to sync my device. So I'll sync my device so that I get the information, any information that is new, such as any jobs that might have been assigned to me, and I might be using some of those new jobs in our training today. I'll be using BlueStacks, but I just want to mention that we don't formally support BlueStacks due to various issues that we've encountered, but I'm going to use it for the purposes of this demo only. Okay, so I've been assigned the Carrotville 43 well site. So after my device successfully syncs, we're going to assume that I'm now in the field, and this would be, say, a remote village in some part of the country where there is no connectivity. So I'm going to be able to take my training attendance offline. So as my device completes the sync, it's taking a while, but let's give it a minute. It looks like I have a bit of attachments to update on my device. So yeah, in the process, we could say I'm doing the training. Okay, we're almost there. Great. So let's look at the jobs that I have. So the job that I want to work on is the well site education attendance job, then job number 8, and I'm going to start a new job. We have 2 tasks, like we've seen from Salesforce. The first one is the training attendance task. So I'm going to open it. And today I have taken the well site members through the waterborne diseases lesson. So I'm going to select that, and in particular, cholera. So as you can see, we have some bit of information on today's lesson. So these are the fields that we selected on the drill down hierarchy for the field staff to just see that some information might be valuable for them. I'll go next, and I want now to select a well site, a region. So I'm in the Carrotville region. And in particular, I've been assigned to train the Carrotville 43 well site members. So here you can see we have 5 records. I'll start with the feature to view an image on the drill down hierarchy. On this well site member, Karim Choge, we have a photo that I can expand and see. So with this, I'm able to identify him and confirm that he's indeed the one who has come for the training. And then I can go ahead and select the ones that all the members in the well site. So I can either select all the members or select individual members and maybe skip some if I want to. But I want to take an attendance record for all the well site members. So this is the feature that allows the field officer to select more than one record on the drill down hierarchy, so that they don't have to redo the job for each and every well site member. So I'll click next. And then this is the first part of our form, the first section, where we will take a record of the lesson and then record the date. So I won't change this because we're doing this today on the 18th. And then I'll add session notes. So today I distributed some materials. So some training material, and then I can click on next. And this is the second part of our form where we have the repeat section, and we've made it to be a tabular format. So the records that we selected from the drill down hierarchy have all been passed to our table, so I don't have to type in this, and all I have to do now is just record the attendance. So Karim Choge is present today, and I'll go to Kito. Kito didn't make it today, so I'll say his attendance is a no. Kwasi made it today, so it's a yes. Then we have Chelagat was attended the training. Yusra Otengo also attended the training. and that's the end. So we've taken training attendance, and we have an attendance value for each of our members. So I will click next, and our task is completed. So I'll mark this task as complete, and I'll go to the next task. So the next task is the view resource task. And we have an instruction here to please watch this video instruction to learn how to wash your hands properly to avoid waterborne diseases such as cholera. And then I have the play media button here. I'm going to select it so that I can show the video. And at this point, the field staff can maybe translate what is written on the screen if the website attendants don't understand the language. And our video has completed playing. So you have the option to replay the media for any reason. And since we don't need to, I will go to the next task, which is syncing now. So as our app syncs, we are going to look at a few things on the Salesforce side. So here is where we have a record of all the training attendances. For each training that is offered, a record is added here. So far we have 105 training attendances, and once our job successfully syncs, these records should increase by the number of website members we have taken training attendance for. We also have on the training session object, we have a record of all the training sessions that have been created. So far we have 9. After our sync successfully completes, we should have 10 of them. So I'm going to check, it's still in the process. And also for our website members, we shall be able to see a record of all the training sessions that they have attended, which is actually the goal of taking the attendance records. I'll check whether, yeah, so we have successfully synced. So I'll start by syncing this tab where we should see the updated training attendances, and I'll also sync the training sessions page. Okay, so this is loaded. We shall scroll down to see the new training attendances we have recorded today. Sorry about that. As this loads, yeah, so you can see we have 5 additional training attendance records for our website members, and on the training sessions object, we have 1 new training session. I'm going to click on it so that we can see the details. So we have the session ID, the lesson that we have gone through is cholera, and the date of training is today. We added some notes that we distributed some material, and we had 4 attendees. So remember, we had 5 website members, but only 4 attended. So there was 1 who did not make it to the training. So let's maybe drill down to look at one of the attendees. So like Sarah, let's see how many training sessions they have attended. So this is the information about Sarah, but we are more interested in the trainings that they have attended. And this is the section where we can do so. So let's expand that and see. Just a minute as this loads. Okay. Okay, here we are. So Sarah has attended 3 trainings. Just a minute. I think we didn't select one of the ones from today. So let me go down and select so the last one, Kwasi, and look at this. So yeah, so the training session from today about cholera is recorded here. Yeah, this is the one from today. So yeah, that's it on the demo. So I'll move back to our deck. And at this point, we are going to ask if there are any questions or thoughts on how you might want to use this, the attendance feature, or any of the series of features that we've showcased today. Tabitha, do you have any questions?
Great, thank you, Maggie. We have one question. What files are supported in the view resource?
What did you say? What files are supported on the view resource feature?
Resource task, in the view resource task, sorry.
Okay. So we have different resources that can be added. So 4 types of, to be specific. The first one is video, the one that I've showcased today. So the formats of video that we support is .3GP and .mp4. And then another resource could be documents. You can attach documents that can be viewed on the view resource task. The documents can be in the form of .pdf, .doc, .docs, .txt, .xls, and .ppt. And then we also you also can attach an audio file. So the audio file can be in the form of MP3 or M4A. And the last one, you can also attach images. The images can be in the form of .jpg, .jpeg, and .png. Does that answer the question?
Great, thanks, Maggie. Monica, I see your hand is raised. I'm going to unmute you, and then you can go ahead and ask your question. So please unmute yourself. Okay, good.
I have a question. When you say the field operatives can be the one to initiate this training, my question is, if we give out Taro accounts to like agents, for example, we have a team of 60 agents, can they just view the training sessions on their own, and then we are able to see the attendance of who attended up to what sessions on Salesforce for tracking purposes? Like, instead of having them sit in groups and one person going through it all, like, can they do it individually and then we're able to see who went?
Sorry, I didn't get the question right. I think Monica is breaking a bit for me.
I'm asking,
can anyone?
I'm asking if you mentioned that most the trainings will be led by a field operative. Now my question is, can the trainings be made available on TaroWorks, and then the agents who have TaroWorks accounts view them, and then us as the management team, we are able to see like progress? We can know like Sarah has gone for 3 trainings instead of one person being in charge of facilitating for everyone. Can it be like a personal issue for everyone who has the account? Hello?
Sorry, I can barely hear you.
Maggie,
Erin, did you get Monica's question?
I think so. I'm not sure I understand the context of the question. So Maggie, can you hear me okay? I can repeat it as well. So I think Monica's question is, is it possible, rather than having, one field officer managing attendance for many people, can the trainings go to individual TaroWorks mobile users? Is that the question, Monica?
Yeah. For everyone who has the account.
Yes,
Like, can you?
Yes.
yes, definitely. So
Okay.
I think actually the use case here could be, you know, you're adding that any kind of resource to make the messaging and training uniform to each of your individual TaroWorks mobile users. So um, they can, you know, use a video or a PDF or something that would be what they would reference for their training, either to train other people or to maybe train themselves. And then they could also use a corresponding TerraWorks job to sync data into Salesforce so that your backend teams can see that progress and see that aggregated in Salesforce reports and dashboards. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, because I think my biggest concern is that with Corona, we are not really encouraging people to be up in groups. So if we
Yes.
can have everybody access the trainings individually instead of them going to the office or having a meeting, I think it would really work for some of our teams.
Yep, definitely.
Thank you. I think that was my biggest concern. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for the question.
Right, thank you. We have a couple of questions. One question, how would have your TaroWorks user view graphs of their statistical work, and how was the logical question of record ID created? Stanley, would it be okay if I would unmute you and then you'd ask your question?
Okay, thank you for the session so far. I'm Stanley, calling in from Uganda with building tomorrow. So my question, sorry, I think I had typos in my text. I wanted to know if I'm entering in, if I would want my TaroWorks users on the other end to, at the end of the day, see the graphs of the work that they have input. Maybe if it were on attendance, uh, let me say they are able to see maybe in that month they have attended 50% or 60%, and it's reflected at the other end of on their TaroWorks account. And secondly, there is the record ID was able to be input without necessarily the TaroWorks user able to see or to check that field. So it's like a back end logic question that is happening. How does that come in play?
Okay, and so I think Maggie's having a little bit of audio issues. I can hear you just fine. So I'll go ahead and take the question. Hi, this is Erin. I lead product and services, by the way, at TaroWorks. Thank you so much for the question. So to address the second half of that question with the auto number, Salesforce has a data type called auto number where it'll automatically generate a unique identifier for every record created in the object. We use that at TaroWorks. Anytime you're referencing an existing record out of Salesforce on the mobile device, it's best practice to use that data type. We recommend that for a couple different reasons. One, it's unique. So when you are syncing data back into Salesforce that might be related to a record that already exists there, you know that exactly which record that you're associating data with or referencing. The other reason is that it can't be changed. So some of our clients ask, can I use a national ID or can I use a mobile number? Technically, that should be unique, but people make typos and sometimes people share phone numbers. So if corrections ever need to be made, then that value might be in motion. And we always want to consider the mobile user that's offline for weeks at a time. You don't want to be changing those identifiers on them, you know, because they may have already synced the original value to their device. So using an auto number field, whenever you're referencing existing records, like your attendees, in TaroWorks is what's best practice. Did that answer that portion of the question?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Thanks. And
Okay,
the
great.
first question?
And sorry, can you repeat the first question just to summarize?
Okay, my question, I just maybe I'm in the field and I want to see the graphical representation of,
Yes.
or
Okay,
I just
sorry.
want to see my own. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So you cannot look at what is like a Salesforce report in your TaroWorks mobile application. So if your TaroWorks mobile users ever do have connectivity, like let's say they work in the field for 3 weeks out of the month and then they come into the office, you can also build out your partner community so that they can log into a portal type experience with Salesforce. And you can configure it to expose whatever data you'd like there, including reports and dashboards. So that's one option. Another option for kind of a feedback loop to your TaroWorks mobile users would be using our performance module. So you can set job targets or have performance indicators based on individual mobile users' goals. So that can be done on a weekly or a monthly basis. And the difference between job targets and performance indicators is job targets would show how many times that individual mobile user has synced a particular job. And performance indicators roll up how many times or how many records you've created within a particular object. So those are some options. I think if you're referring to like the attendance rate of an actual attendee, that could just be synced back out to the device using a view data task. So automatically as you're creating attendance data in Salesforce, you could have like a roll-up summary on to the attendee that would show what their attendance rate was over time. And then using a view data task or just as a part of your drill down hierarchy, you could expose that field. So you could look up at any time, what's the attendance rate for a particular user? Or sorry, a particular attendee. So
Yeah, and I think I have some of that. I think we've, for our demo today, we had exposed some form of that. So you can see information such as the trainings attended or the ones they have missed. And what Erin is saying is you can have another field here for their training attendance rate. So it would tell you the rate of attendance for this particular World Site member in our case.
Do any of those options sound like they would meet your requirements? Or are you looking for something different?
Yeah, okay. I think the first option that you had given seemed a bit close, but I think I would look at. I'm just left with an option, just running a report, maybe whenever the field staff shows up at office. But I thought they would have a graphical representation at the end to know what's happening. I'm not entirely running an attendance or maybe the frequency to which they are inputting data or something, because there are other ways I see in the back end I'm able to know that. However, I think I will explore the first option that you had given me, and then I see how best I could take advantage of it.
Okay, excellent. There are some support articles on our support site on how to expose reports and dashboards in the partner community. So if you have any trouble finding those or have some additional questions on that, feel free to submit a ticket and our support team will help you with that.
Great, thank you so much for the questions. And that was all, unless there's a final question.
Is there one?
That's it for now, Maggie.
Okay, so we just have a few reminders for you. So if there's any way you feel that we can help your organizations, feel free to go to our support site at taroworks.zendesk.com and open a ticket. And also a reminder that all our clients have 1 free hour support per month. So if you have any troubleshooting questions that you need help with, go ahead and submit a request on the support site. taroworks.zendesk.com. Then also, if you need more help, if there's something like an increased demand in your team and you need additional help or just extra hands in your org, we offer all these services to support you. So please reach out to your customer success manager if you're interested with ongoing consulting or even jobs audit. And then we have a couple of resources on the same place where you'd go to log a new support ticket, taroworks.zendesk.com. We have all these resources that can guide you in setting up the series of features that I have showcased today. Yeah. Are there any other questions at this point?
No more questions. I think we are good to go. So thank you so much, everyone, for attending. And like we mentioned, this webinar will be available on our website and all on our YouTube channel. So thank you so much, and bye-bye.